Alright, got the Facebook app installed, so now I don't have to look like a total boomer when I'm going live. Decided to do a little Facebook live tonight. Got a little fire going out here. And been trying to do some of this content outside, and you never know how many problems you're going to have when you go from doing some content inside the house to doing content outside the house. So one of my goals is to try to, as I usually do here, go live and then be able to reproduce that content and put it out on my audio feeds, so for the podcast, and then also on the website, Odysee, Bitchute, Rumble. No longer on the YouTube, because fuck YouTube and their Nazi bullshit, and fuck Facebook too, but you know, that's where a lot of the people that are going to see this content that I make are on, and we'll try to go out on the TikTok and all the new kids stuff, as well as Nostr, other things like that. But basically, I just wanted to get a little update out there that I've been pretty steadily working on things. We have a property. Let's make sure the Wi-Fi is not on this guy. Okay, good. We purchased a home back last October, and I've been wanting to get back to producing more videos and more content, but you know, there's time for that, and I had to also address a lot of things in my own life that came up to get back on track. So we're out here today just doing a little video by the fire, like I said, and I have a couple notes to go over. Some of the things I want to cover today, and we're going to get into this more as promised when I left off, is well, I got a few notes here to go over, but I'm going to skip ahead to the part about, and my thing keeps popping up saying there's a slow connection. We'll see how that goes. Should have pretty good service here. There probably are some yapping dogs in the background you can hear. But I've been seeing a lot in the last few years with these 508 faith-based organizations, or pairing that with a PMA, a private membership organization. And I put out a post recently on Facebook about how 508s are basically total horseshit, and people pushing that, especially a lot in the freedom movement right now, are scammers, con artists, dupes, morons, people looking to sell a course, people looking to make a profit off of this information that supposedly some sort of spiritual revolution. It's funny because a lot of those people are also pushing Samuel Konkin and his information on agorism and creating agorist marketplaces and basically exchanging currency outside of the system completely as a solution, which was actually way on track. I mean, you look at Samuel L. Konkin III Jr., or whatever the fuck, information, it's actually really on point with what a good solution is, which is agorism, which is like a solid solution to the problem, right? And then you have the people in the modern day not fucking getting it, who used to push that, who want you to somehow like sign up for your freedom on a 508 C1A based institution, organization, to get your government status approved for being an agorist or whatever. And I've looked into this pretty thoroughly, and it's total horseshit. It doesn't exist. It's not a real thing. It's not an escape from the Matrix. It doesn't give you somehow some pass from a solution from the solution is yourself, and you need to fix the problem in your own self and then spread the information to other people. It gives you some sort of pass as if you're somehow creating some sort of parallel economy with the government's approval, but also still being like a church or something. Trust me, it's total horseshit. We're not going to go into every little detail here on this feed, on this stream, but the information is in the post I made, which was a couple months back, and the individuals in the freedom movement pushing this, I've informed them and tried to educate them that I've discovered that this is total horseshit, and they still want to continue to promote it and push it. So that's one thing that's been really bothering me in this sort of hiatus of making content. That I want to put out more content on, of course, in the Falling into the Movement Traps series that I will continue to produce. This is going to be at the forefront. This and other Patriot mythology, as I'm going to term it, which others have termed as well, but there's going to be an umbrella category of Patriot mythologies that are promoted, Patriot gurus, people out there that are promoting themselves as like all solutions offering folks who really are just selling a course, selling a product, promoting their ideas, getting more followers, getting more likes. That's their true agenda. We've talked about this before. It's like snakes in the long grass, you know, and these can be crypto schemes, alternative currency schemes, you know. I'm not like a maximalist, a BTC maximalist, but there is only one true cryptocurrency that's dominating and going to consume all the other cryptocurrencies. That's not because I agree with the direction or something, but that's the truth, and that's, if you can't see that by this point, you're just kind of a fucking idiot. If you're in the crypto space and you don't understand what's going to happen there. But there can be also in other freedom movement groups, you'll see the idea of even be your own bank and becoming your own banker. There's chewing Mosley back there, tearing it up. The whole life insurance scam, right? The whole life insurance policy. I've seen this promoted in the quote-unquote, you know, freedom space. This comes from Robert Kiyosaki and his Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Not necessarily in that book, but there's a lot of around his following or whatever, that it became really popular there. It's a scam. It's another scam within the freedom community that gets promoted. And again, I mean, what we're going back to here is a lot of pitfalls and a lot of issues within the freedom community, even, you know, with the constant fear porn, the constant this is going to happen, that is going to happen, the end of the system, the end of this, the end of that, the end of the system that's fictional and isn't fucking real, and they manipulate, and everybody knows it's manipulated and owned by these private bankers, which it's really fucking not, actually, because it's really not that, and people don't know what they're talking about. It doesn't really matter, though, because really, the point is there's so much just nonsense, fear porn, propaganda, even bullshit in the quote-unquote people that have woken up space, that it's important to put out the counter-narrative information for people that are actually on that path to pick up and run with themselves, because there are going to be a lot more people falling down like almost like the marketing funnels of a lot of the freedom gurus out there who are promoting become a 508 faith-based 508 C1A3 or whatever the fuck organization to permit yourself to become free from the government. instead of just really, if you're going to be in the black market, be in the black market, you know, why are you going to involve yourself in a tax evasion strategy? Well, I know why you're going to do that, because you need to sell your course, and you need to sell your propaganda to people to wake up just like you are. Even though I noticed this individual specifically that I'm talking about, that I'm not going to name names right now, is happened to stop promoting that particular guruism of his, and he's going to now move on to other courses and promotions and email marketing schemes to quote unquote join the Live Free Academy, right? So that might have tipped some people off to the person I'm talking about. I did try to reach out to this person about the 508, and he wasn't interested in hearing it, because at the time he was promoting a course and selling it heavily, so of course that couldn't be something that he was concerned with at that time. But I have noticed that he's stopped promoting it. Alright, so again, just doing a little fireside chat tonight. We got these lava rocks out here. We made this fire. We haven't used it too many times, but it's like down a path from the house, and then you come out here, and whew, that wood smells really good. Not sure how many mixtures of wood are in there, but you know I love my good smelling wood. So again, that idea here, maybe I'll be able to use this video. I keep getting the slow connection warning, but it would be nice to be able to to redistribute a video that I can just go live on Facebook with my phone without some special lapel fucking Bluetooth piece of shit mic off Amazon. And not take 2 hours to set up, and just be able to do a quick video. And it just seems to be more difficult than it should be to do that, and more time consuming. But yeah, I've been busy. This weekend we're going to do an update on the bioreactor project. At least I'm going to be working on that. I don't know if we're going to do an update on it, but I'm going to be putting together another bioreactor. I've recorded some content while doing that, and it seems there's just issues that I don't want to put out the content that I record. It always seems to work out easier for me just to put out something live. Bring them on camera. No, not right now. I'm not sure if that was a mistake. Well, what's up, Brittany? How are you doing? Hope you're doing great. And then I could put out more streamlined things, but still, we need to get back to the series, Falling into the Movement Traps, Pitfalls of the Truth and Freedom Movement. This is something that's very important. It becomes more and more important as we go. The things that I brought up in the initial presentation, just talking about the basics, are more and more prevalent. The quote-unquote like complete sleeping masses aren't exactly the people that I'm looking to target with that series. It's more or less the people in the freedom movement, the people in the quote-unquote truth and freedom community, and even like newcomers to that community, to have a different take, a different voice, and an alternative to some of those sort of like beaten down paths that are more easy to fall into as you go. Because I feel that there's a lot of value in digging there, and it's not just like naysaying and black pillism. It's more or less like trying to get people on the right track to avoid, it's positive feedback from having already sort of traversed a lot of the terrain, to then be able to help people along the way with like cairns, you know, like when you're on a hike, you know, a cairn is the rocks that people pile up that look like maybe a pyramid shape, bigger to smaller rocks, and then you're like, oh, okay, that's the way, that's sort of what I envision the work that I'll continue to work on here to do, including psychological, spiritual, almost like antivirus software that can be installed, because that's needed. You know, packages that can be downloaded, unzipped, and installed that give you the like layout of the terrain that you're going toward, so you don't end up being let's just say you don't end up going down the rabbit holes that are unnecessarily needed to go down. Let's put it lightly. I was gonna be really mean there and pick out like certain sectors, but it's not necessarily important to be very specific. This is definitely more of a relaxed form of what we're trying to do. So yeah, I mean the main idea is, stop complaining, essentially. This would be like the quick message, and then we're going to wrap it up here. And then maybe later we'll try more of these. I'll have to go back and see if the service in this spot is good. Maybe what I'll do is take a quick trip to get a couple pieces of wood to kind of try to break this up a little bit. But one of the main ideas would be quit looking at politics, quit looking at external problems even. Stop talking about CBDCs and they're gonna fucking do this and they're gonna fucking do that, and the end of the fucking this is coming and the end of the fucking that is coming. All that is a distraction from what you need to be doing yourself. It's all about what the hell are you doing? It has really nothing to do, and when I'm talking about it, like the solution, has really nothing to do with all that fucking garbage. If you're not in action, if you're not fully engaged, if you're not fixing yourself, if you're not healing yourself, if you're not taking action in your own life. It's way more about what are you doing. Quit fucking talking about all that bullshit and get back to work. And there needs to be more discernment, and that's what we started out talking about tonight. But really what I'm tired of seeing is little fucking bitches talking about what their problem is and not what they're doing about it. So I'd say that's the main takeaway to take away. And I could go on and on about this and that with fucking politics and what's happening with Trump or what's happening with Kamala Harris, what's going on in that arena. And it's not that it's not entertaining, right, or interesting. But your power really doesn't lie there. It doesn't lie there at all. And if you're stuck there, what you're doing is just fucking twiddling your chains on your feet. And I wanted to go into a whole lot of details of the psychology of the political worshiper and the person who has a lot of politics, right? And the person who pays a lot of attention to who's going to be in power from the next, their next vote, and how that's going to matter, and how that, in the end, that shit doesn't really matter. And if you don't get that yet, you're still totally asleep. There's really no other way to put it. The agenda marches on. It doesn't matter which puppet they put in power, and democracy was set up by the Fabian Society to trick you into thinking that you actually mattered and that your vote actually fucking mattered, and it doesn't fucking matter. So get over that. But if you're still stuck there, again, like, this really isn't for you. I'm not really talking to you, and I'm not really looking to have any discourse with you. We've definitely moved on from that position. We don't really, never really been there myself personally. So, taking responsibility matters more than voting. Even if voting did matter, which it doesn't, but I'll grant you that. Even if it did, what you're actually doing in your own life is what actually matters. Even if the puppet that was installed did actually matter, it's not actually what actually matters in your life and what you need to be doing if you really want to create a world that's better for everyone, or whatever virtue signaling mask you're putting on, right? Oh, the wind is picking up a little bit here. Alright, so again, we'll get back into creating more content. We'll see how this one goes. We're going to put it out on tylerbloyer.com as always. Continue producing content there. There's been a lot of things going on with me. And there's nothing about it that's been about not wanting to continue the mission that we've been on originally when producing the content that we've been producing on tylerbloyer.com. As time goes on, there's nothing about what I've said in public or what I've put out there I've felt bad about or felt like I shouldn't have put out. It only has gotten more important and more critical for me to elucidate and become more clear about the things I've been trying to insinuate and put out. But at the same time, I don't feel bad at all about how things have gone so far in starting in the journey of not being worried about putting out my opinion or putting out what I think about things online. And like I said, if you look into even like the last 10 videos I've put out, it's really key, important, psychological, philosophical work that I think is, if taken in, is not going to make you a worse off person. In fact, will make you think about things in a different way, perhaps. And so I think we'll leave it there for tonight and get back to you with another one of these type of videos, hopefully getting into a more consistent schedule weekly or so. We'll try to hold myself to it. I'm going to sit here and enjoy and hope everyone has a wonderful night. Alright, we'll see you later.